السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. We continue إن شاء الله تعالى with سورة المرسلات, Surah number 77, and we'll go through إن شاء الله تعالى verses 29 to 37. 29 to 37. So please open the Mus'haf and follow. 29 to 37. Repeat إن شاء الله تعالى and try to raise your voice so that your recitation is corrected إن شاء الله. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. انطلقوا إلى ما كنتم به تكذبون. انطلقوا إلى ظل ذي ثلاث شعب لا ظليل ولا يغني من اللهب إنها ترمي بشرر كالقصر كأنه جمالة صفر ويل يومئذ للمكذبين. هذا يوم لا ينطقون ولا يؤذن لهم فيعتذرون ويل يومئذ للمكذبين. انطلقوا, the first ayah, انطلقوا. You can, the hamza here, you start with a kasra, so you say e, and then you have the noon with sukun after the ta, that's ikhfa with heavy tone. انطلقوا, the nad for the 5 counts. إلى ما كنتم به, to إخفاء, تكذبون. انطلقوا again, and then the mad for the 5 counts. إلى, ظا is heavy and has a kasra, so ظي. إلى ظل, تنوين after it, ذال إخفاء, ظل ذي ثلاث شعبة, and the باء at the end makes قلقلة, شعبة. لا ظليل, تنوين after it, واو, لا ظليل ولا يغني من اللهب. إنها, نون الشدة, إنها ترمي, تاء is light and ra is heavy. ترمي بشرر, تنوين after it, كاف, بشرر كالقصر, and the قاف and صاد are heavy. كأنه, نون الشدة, take 2 counts, جمالة صفر, جمالة صفر, and the تنوين after it, صاد, is heavy. ويل يومئذ للمكذبين, ويل 2 counts, يومئذ لا ينطقون, ينطقون, إخفاء, نون سكون الطاء heavy. ولا يؤذن لهم فيعتذرون ويل يومئذ للمكذبين. انطلقوا إلى ما كنتم به تكذبون. This is addressing those who deny the day of judgment, and it's basically referring to what mentioned before. So it will be said to them, انطلقوا, انطلقوا, as we will see the word, that means it will be said to them, depart you to this disbelievers that which used to deny. So depart, leave, go. Al-intalaq is a word that is used when when people run, when people go to a direction, to go somewhere. So it will be said to them, intaliqu, go ahead, go to what you used to deny, which is the hellfire. Go to the one that used to disbelieve in. They would see it with their own eyes, and they will be pushed in it, and they will be punished in hellfire. So go to what you used to كذبون, what you used to deny. انطلقوا, again انطلقوا, it will be said to them, go, انطلقوا, and we'll talk about that word more inshallah, إلى ظل ذي ثلاث شعب, as it says in the translation, depart you to a shadow in 3 columns. In 3 columns. What does that mean? It's basically the fire. انطلقوا إلى ظل, and الظل here is the shade from the smoke of the hellfire when it becomes very high. And it's so intense and so strong that it has 3 columns. Right? So because it's of how intense it is, how strong it is. And that's how when something has a very strong fire, the smoke is not just one clutter of smoke. No, it becomes it looks like columns, more than one. So this is how it's explained. انطلقوا إلى ظل ذي ثلاث شعب. شعب, groups or so. So it shows the intensity of the fire. لا ظليل ولا يغني من اللهب. It has no ظليل. It's not really a shade. It's as it's mentioned, it's shade, but it's not really the shade. The shade is when you have comfort underneath and so on. But this is no ظليل. So this ظل, or the shade of the smoke, is not a shade in itself. ولا يغني من اللهب, and it does not avail the person or benefit the person from al-lahab, or the fire. The flame of the fire. It doesn't prevent the person from the flame of the fire. So that shade is no comfort in it. There's nothing in it of goodness. It does not avail the person. If he goes underneath it, because it's all fire, and fire underneath and fire on top of them. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, لهم من جهنم مهاد ومن فوقهم غواش. Underneath them is fire, and above them is fire. And this is all because of what they earned themselves in this life. لا ظليل ولا يغني من اللهب. إنها ترمي بشرر كالقصر, that also describing the fire, that it says verily, meaning the fire, the hellfire throws sparks huge as al-qasr. And this is what al-qasr is. So it refers to the flames of the fire. When you have also a big fire, you have things flying away from it. So this is tarmi bisharar, these flames. Kal-qasr. Al-qasr is the fortified place, is a very well-structured place. So it's so huge, the flames of the fire, the things that runs away or flies away from the fire. It's like the sparks. The sparks that comes out of the fire is like a mansion, huge things. And also some that, either referred to the roots of the trees or the like of this. So this is, again, it shows how great the fire is. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us all. كأنه جمالة صفر. It's the like of جمالة صفر, which means yellow camels or bundles of ropes. That's the 2 meanings of it. So this describing also these sparks, that it's like جمالة صفر. جمالة comes from the camels that are yellow, and also it refers to the ropes of the ships, or صفر comes from copper. So this is all different meanings that they're not contradicting, because it's all describing how the sparks of the fire is. So how would be then the fire itself? وَيْلُ يَوْمَئِذٍ لِلْمُكَذِّبِينَ. Woe on that day to the deniers, as it's repeated in the surah many times. هذا يوم لا ينطقون. هذا يوم, this is a day لا ينطقون, they're not going to speak. they're not going to be given the permission to speak except by the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. No one will speak out of the regret that they have. There's no point of speaking. They used to speak in this life. They used to say all kinds of arrogant things. And in the day of judgment, out of the extreme fears, they don't speak. لا ينطقون. And as the ayah says, هذا يوم لا ينطقون ولا يؤذن لهم فيعتذرون. And they're not going to be given the permission to يعتذرون, to apologize, to seek forgiveness, or they're not able to speak. They're not going to be given the permission to try to defend themselves. The hujjah, the evidence has been established upon them. The matter is over with. It's like that when someone is taken to to apply the death penalty on him, right? It's too late. If he says I'm innocent or this or that, it doesn't avail him, does not benefit him whatsoever. So وَلَا يُؤْذَنُ لَهُمْ فَيَعْتَذِرُ. When it used to be, they're given the time for them to do that in this world, but they didn't. وَيْلُ يَوْمَئِذٍ لِلْمُكَذِّبِينَ. Woe on that day to the mukaththibin. The Quran is kitabun mathani. He explains to us the severity of the punishment, and he also explains to us the great rewards from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And as it's going to be mentioned also, the rewards for the believers, but the hearts is in need of both. And this is how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created us. He's the creator of all things. That's why we need to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that He's the most merciful, and also He is severe in punishment. He's the most just, subhanahu wa ta'ala. But the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala encompasses everything, and it overtakes the anger. So whoever transgressed upon himself, whoever was excessiveness upon himself in evil and sins and disbelief, if they repent to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would have the love to them. He would bestow His mercy upon them. And He won't punish them because of their sins, because they repented to Allah. But when the truth is being presented and a person rejected it, and the warnings are there, then he is to blame himself, and that's what the disbelievers will do in the day of judgment. When we look into the ayat, انطلقوا إلى ما كنتم به تكذبون, depart, go ahead, leave, proceed, to what you used to deny, or used to say that it's a lie. انطلقوا from ta, lam, qaf, comes from the word, the talaq, divorce, is when the husband would let go his wife. Right, so this is what share the same root meaning, and it's like you have some form of a bond, and then you let go, or you have a camel that is tied, and then you let it loose. This is how things are, and then it becomes anything that is refers to when something is proceeding towards something. Going towards a specific direction, right, and things like this. So in taliqu, this is what would be said to them, and usually when someone is going to a pleasant thing, this is a pleasant way. But then for the disbelievers, in taliqu ila ma kuntum bihi, to what you used to ma kuntum bihi tukadhibun, what you used to deny, and tukadhibun from kaf al ba. انطلقوا, again it's going to be said to them, انطلقوا, proceed, إلى ظل, to a ظل, shadow, from ظا, lam, and anything that has a shade. So the shade, basically, that you have something and underneath it is the shade. So إلى ظل, the is the owner of, having, the ثلاثي, three, ثلاثي from lam, شعب, columns, شين عين باء, that as the hadith, الإيمان بضع وستون أو بضع وسبعون شعبة, parts. So here columns or parts, that's what they call the parts of the smoke. ذي ثلاث شعب, لا ظليل, no ظليل, the same word, no ظليل, no cool shade, no ظل. And the word ظليل refers to the cool shade. ظليل is more of the shade that is pleasant. So it's ظل, yes, it's a shade, but it's not a good shade. It's not of a benefiting shade for them. لا ظليل ولا يغني, and it doesn't يغني, avail from غين نون ياء, ولا يغني من اللهب. اللهب is the flame, like Abu Lahab. سيصلى نارا ذات لهب. That's the flame. إنها, indeed, it, meaning the fire. ترمي, ترمي, throws from ra mim ya. وما رميت إذ رميت, when you throw the arrows. So here ترمي, it's throws. إن ترمي بشرر. الشرر is the sparks from شين راء راء. And الشر, the evil, is also kind of has the same root meaning, which is basically the sparks of evil. And here's the sparks of the fire. بشرر كالقصر, like the qasr. Kaf here is like qasr. Qaf, sad, ra, again. Whether it's the fortified place, or also it refers to the rope of the ship. كأنه جمالة صفر, as if he is جمالة. جمالة from jamal, camels. جمالة صفر. صفر, jamal, the camel. صفر means yellow or copper. The copper, it has the same word because it's yellow. كأنه جمالة صفر. And also it's, it refers to the dark color. When something this is how the Arab, they use it, or they use the word of it. The mountains, I'm sorry, the camels, when it's dark, they call it sufran. And the same thing, it's the darkness of the camels, they call it sufr. كأنه جمالة صفر ويل يومئذ المكذبين. Woe on that day to the مكذبين, to the deniers. هذا يوم, this is a day. هذا يوم لا ينطقون, they do not ينطقون, النطق or نطق, speaking and uttering words, so nothing whatsoever. This is what النطق is. And المنطق is the speech, the person that has the ability to speak. أنطقنا الله الذي أنطق كل شيء, when the parts of the body will speak, and they would say, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us speak. ولا, and they do not يؤذن, permitted from ألف ذال نون, ولا يؤذن لهم فيعتذرون, so that they would يعتذرون from عين ذال راء, to make excuses. And making excuses, whether a person is excused or to be able to speak. فيعتذر, or regretting what they did. ويل يومئذ للمكذبين. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us from the hellfire. And the way to benefit from that, of course, is to have the fear of Allah, to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with the fear of Allah, with the hope for the rewards from Allah, with the love of Allah, and to stay away from what Allah forbade us from, so that we receive the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.